know and inspire.
Welcome back. So for anyone tracking, biohacking, self-improvement, even just wellness trends, there's this really deep-seated idea, isn't there?
Absolutely. The whole victim of your DNA thing.
Exactly. We've all heard it, maybe even said it. Things like, oh, I've just got bad genes, or it runs in the family, or
It's just in my blood. Like it's some kind of sentence.
Right. An unchangeable fate. But what if the science is actually pointing somewhere else now? What if? Well, our source material jumps right in with biologist Bruce Lipton's idea.
Yes, the quote, "Genes are a recipe book, and the chef is your consciousness."
Yeah. I mean, when you first hear that, doesn't DNA define everything? Aren't we just programmed?
It definitely challenges the standard view we've held for decades, that DNA is destiny.
Totally. When I first came across Lipton's work, it really made me question things. If DNA isn't the ultimate programmer, then well, who is, or what is?
And that's the core of it.
So, our mission today in this deep dive is really to unpack that idea. The idea that you're not just a product of your genes, but you're actually the one directing how they're expressed.
The conscious director.
Yeah. We'll look at the science behind it and, importantly, get into a practical method our sources lay out for actually applying this.
Sounds good. Because the implication is huge. You're not the program. You're the programmer.
Right. And our material shared something I think a lot of people can relate to. That fear, My family has diabetes, heart problems, depression. It's just a matter of time for me. I'm doomed.
That feeling of just waiting for the other shoe to drop, genetically speaking, waiting for that gene to switch on.
Yes. But the insight from reading Lipton, as our source points out, was this kind of light bulb moment. Maybe you don't inherit the disease itself, but you inherit the belief. Or maybe the tendency to react in ways that flip those switches.
That connects perfectly. If your DNA isn't this fixed verdict, then what is the key? What turns genes on or off? Our source uses this great analogy, your body as a house with a control panel in the basement. Loads of switches. Get sick, be afraid, lack confidence.
And you're just down there flipping them randomly thinking, well, this is just how the house works.
Exactly. Until someone points out, hey, you're the one flipping those, you choose. Your DNA isn't some rigid blueprint. It's more like an incredibly complex instrument.
And your consciousness, your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, you're the musician playing it. According to Lipton, anyway.
That's a powerful way to think about it, isn't it? A real shift.
It really is. Okay, so if our genes are like this huge database of potential, what's the access code? How do we get in?
Well, the source suggests it's not just chance or simple inheritance. The code is your consciousness.
So when you're thinking, I am sick, or I can't do this, or I'm not good enough.
You're basically typing in the activate illness or activate limitation command.
But the flip side is also true. If the inner talk is, I am healthy, I am capable.
Then you're inputting the activate health code. And the idea is your cells listen. They respond to those signals.
Cells are complicated, but how does a thought translate?
Well, our source points to Lipton's actual experiments. He was a cell biologist for, over 30 years?
Right.
And he showed that a cell isn't primarily controlled by its nucleus, where the DNA lives. It's controlled more by the membrane, by what it senses from its environment outside.
Okay, so the signals from outside the cell are key.
Exactly. Which implies the external signals are controlling the genes, not the other way around. And what's external to the cells inside your body?
Your internal environment, your blood.
Precisely, your blood. And what massively influences the chemistry of your blood?
Hormones, neurotransmitters, triggered by emotions.
You got it.
Very.
Things like adrenaline when you're scared or oxytocin when you feel love or connection.
Okay. So if you're constantly feeling fear, stress, your blood floods with adrenaline and stress hormones, and that sends a chemical message to every cell saying,
danger, threat, survival mode now, shut down, conserve energy.
But if you're feeling love, connection, safety, then oxytocin and other beneficial chemicals signal.
It's safe, relax, open up, time to grow, repair, regenerate.
So this changes the whole story. It's not necessarily I got sick because of my genes. It might be, according to this view, I got sick because chronic fear kept my cells locked in survival mode.
Yeah, and that brings up an important point. Does this mean you just ignore threats, become reckless?
Good question.
No, not at all. It's about the difference between, healthy caution and living 247 in crippling anxiety.
Right.
The source had a great analogy for this too. Imagine living in a house, and every single night, even if there's zero threat, you set off a deafening alarm, barricade the doors, sleep with a baseball bat.
You'd be a wreck after a year.
Exactly. Exhausted. And after 5 years, your health would likely collapse. It's the same for your body, just at the cellular level. Constant stress chemicals mean constant survival signals.
And cells in survival mode, they aren't focused on thriving, right? They're just trying not to die.
Precisely. Lipton's work really highlights this. A cell can be in survival mode or growth mode. It can't really do both effectively at the same time.
So the choice becomes, do you stay stuck in chronic fear and just survive? Or do you actively cultivate states like love, gratitude, peace, and allow your cells the chance to actually grow and heal?
That's the core question it poses.
Which leads us perfectly into the practical side. Because our source material doesn't just leave us hanging with the theory, it offers a really concrete method. They call it the Cell Reboot method, or sometimes 7 minutes to new DNA.
Yeah, it sounds quite remarkable. It's designed as a daily practice, specifically aiming to kind of reprogram the body at that cellular level.
And it's based on?
Well, as the source outlines it, it's a blend. It draws from Lipton cell biology, some neurobiology principles, and also a lot of personal experimentation and experience, designed to be effective even if you feel like you've tried everything before.
Okay, let's walk through it. So day 1 is called Statement of Freedom. What do?
You close your eyes, take a breath, and really affirm 3 times. I am not a victim of genes. I am the one who activates them. I choose the growth mode.
And the emphasis is on feeling it, right? Not just saying the words, because that feeling is part of the signal.
Exactly. Then day 2 is experiencing health. This one's about visualization.
Okay.
You vividly imagine yourself living in a body that basically obeys your intentions. You feel the energy, the strength, maybe the lightness. And while you're doing that, you affirm, I am already healthy. I am already okay. Thank you.
So you're priming the pump, so to speak, acting as if.
Sort of, yeah. Creating that internal state. Day 3 is dialogue with cells.
Sounds a bit unusual. Are you actually talking to your cells?
Not literally chatting, no. It's more an exercise in mindful awareness. You ask internally, like, what do you hear when I'm afraid? What signals do you get? And what about when I feel love?
Ah, okay. Becoming aware of the messages you're sending.
Right. And then with gratitude, you acknowledge their past work. Thank you for keeping me surviving. Now we are switching to growth mode. It's about that conscious shift.
Got it. Day 4 is visualizing the key.
Yeah, this ties back to that control panel analogy. You imagine holding a symbolic key, inserting it into your body's control panel, and consciously turning it from survival to growth.
Feel the whole system rebooting.
That's the goal, a powerful internal recalibration. Then day 5 is affirmations for DNA.
Simpler.
Seems so. Just stating with conviction. My genes respond to my consciousness. I choose health. I choose love. I choose growth. Reinforcing that core message.
Day 6, gratitude to cells.
This involves offering specific thanks to different parts of your body, addressing them intentionally. Thank you, heart, for serving. Thank you, lungs, for growing. Thank you, cells, for believing in me, fostering that connection.
Nice. And the final day, day 7.
Statement of new reality. This is about really cementing the week's practice. You declare, I have already reprogrammed my genes. I am already living in growth mode. I am already free. Thank you.
Stepping into it, believing it's already done.
Yeah, embodying that new reality you're aiming for.
So wrapping this all up, what does this deep dive really mean for you listening right now?
I think the core message is profound. You are not just a passive victim of your DNA.
You're the activator. You profoundly influence how those genes get expressed.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to live in fear of some genetic predisposition. Instead, maybe the focus needs to be on listening really carefully to what you tell yourself day in, day out.
Because every word, every thought, as the source puts it, is like a command for your cells.
So the invitation is, start today, right now even. Say to yourself, I am not a victim. I am the one who controls.
And tomorrow, reinforce it. I have already reprogrammed my DNA. Own that power.
Absolutely.
And, this whole exploration, it naturally brings up another big question, doesn't it? If consciousness can influence genes, well, how do the brain and consciousness actually sort of fight for control over our lives?
Interesting. Next time, we're planning to dive into that. Specifically, why real lasting power might not just be in your head, but maybe more seated in the intelligence of your heart.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty challenging, I think, honest, and definitely grounded in the science we can find.
Looking forward to it. But for now, remember this. You are not a victim of your genes. You are the one who activates them.
Just say, I choose differently.
And trust that your body will hear you. We really believe in your power to do this. Maybe even more than you believe in yourself right now.
Know and inspire. Subscribe and like, because it will be more interesting further.